Hello class, welcome back to today's lecture. Today's lecture is going to be on groups. Groups is a function or a tool that we can use in Excel and Sheets, right? To demonstrate a summary of details. What do I mean by this? We use groupings to essentially hide details in order to demonstrate a bigger picture of something, right? So I'll show you what I mean by this with an example, which you will follow along with me. But okay, so we're gonna continue on with the company that we created, Puppy Love Pamp, and Puppy Love Pamp provides training classes for pets, right? So our boss has asked us to create a report of the number of pets that are registered for the training, the number of pets that complete the training, and the number of pets that do not complete the training. So let's get started. First thing you're going to want to do is go to Sheets. Once you're in Sheets, we're going to continue on the book that we had with our list of customers. So my title is different from yours because I made some previous changes, which you will do as well. So in my case, it's this one. Yours, remember, it's going to be titled Customer List. And of course, the first thing I want you to do is change the title. So you're going to change the title from Customer List to Puppy Love Pamp Reports and your name. After that, once you do that, I want you to take a look down here. I have 3 sheets. Okay, so I want you to make sure you have one of your customer list titled Customer List, and if you need to change the name, you need to go to the arrow here, go to rename, and then it'll open up the bar where you can start typing, right? And just write Customer List. You don't have to write the Spanish part. Also, just to give you a quick preview of what we're going to do, this is what I'm talking about. This is the full details of the information that we're going to input. And this here, this bar here, this one and this one, these are different groups, right? I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But this is going to be how our spreadsheet will look once we're done with this exercise, right? All right, so the first step, I'm going to go back to the customer list. And the first step you want to do is open up a new sheet. So you're going to click on the Add Sheet. And it'll open up a blank spreadsheet. Once that is opened, I want you to start. And we're going to write city. Okay? And make sure you pay attention to capitals and lower cases and commas, because all of these things matter. This is work that in this scenario, it's obviously just an example, but essentially this is professional work that we're going to submit to our boss, right? So we wanted to always have a professional look and have everything stay consistent, right? Okay, so we're gonna write Riverside again, but I want you to remember the copying tool. Remember, I can copy. Excel is great because I can copy down cells that are going to be repetitive. So in this case, I still need to repeat Riverside 3 more times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Riverside, put my cursor on the blue square, and I'm going to drag it down all the way to cell 6. All right, so that's copied. I saved myself a little bit of time and work from having to write Riverside multiple times. And I continue. Here I'm going to write Riverside one more time, but in all capitals. Sometimes Excel is too smart and it thinks you want to, recopy what's in the line above, but in this case we aren't going to. So I'm going to press backspace to erase the comma in the California that showed up, and I'm going to put enter to go down to the next cell. Now I'm going to write Irvine. Okay, and same thing, I don't want to do a lot of work, so I'm just going to copy the cell down to cell 13, and then in cell 14 I'm going to write Irvine in big letters, backspace, enter. Okay, then I'm going to skip a line, and I'm going to write total number of pets. And then, okay, so we're going to have a pattern here. Everything I write in the first row is going to be bold. So let's establish the bold. Okay, and then everything I write in line 7 will be bold. And everything I write in 14 will be bold. And again, I'm clicking on the cell. So for example, I click on the 16 because that's the one that's going to be bold, and it highlights the whole row. Now I can make change. I can indicate what command I want to the whole row. I want bold. Okay, so now everything I write in those 4 lines will always be in bold automatically. So now I want store, and then here I want PetSmart Puppy Depot Smart Pets Smart Lucky Pets, and here I want total in Riverside, pet store, paw store, only pets store, the pets, no, only pet store, yeah, the pet stop. Okay, protein for pets, pet joy, and total in Irvine. Enter. Okay, and as you can see, total in Riverside overlaps into my column C. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to auto adjust column B. So I put my cursor in between the B and the C. My cursor changes, and I can double click and it auto adjusts. So now I'm going to continue at the top, and here we will have registered for training. Okay, 18, 20, 25, 13, 12. And in line C7, we're going to put a function, and the function is going to be equals sum, open parentheses, I'm going to do shift 9, and I'm going to select cells C2 to C6, enter. So what did that do? This function worked to add 18 plus 20 plus 25 plus 13 plus 12 equals 88, right? See? Okay, C2 to C6, 88. All right, continuing, we have 25, 20, 18, 15, 12, 15. Same thing, I'm going to put equals, sum, shift 9 to open the parentheses, but this time it's going to be cells C8 to C13. Enter. And I want one more function. So I'm going to skip a line, and in C16 I want equals sum, open parentheses, but this time I want to choose cell 7 where my 88 is. I'm going to put comma to indicate one more cell, which is cell 14. And I press enter, and so now what did it do? I'm going to double click and you'll see cell C7 containing the value 88 and cell C14 containing the value 105 was placed in cell C16 with the function sum. What does that mean? It added 105 plus 88 equals 193, right? And of course, if you want to double check, you can do it on the calculator, you can do it in your head, and you'll get 193 as a sum. So I'm going to auto adjust again, cell column C, and I'm going to continue with column D. Completed training. I'm just going to auto adjust now because completed training overlapped into cell E. So I just fixed that. 16, 18, 22, 10, 9, and we're back at our totals, right? It says total in Riverside. So this is our total line for the city of Riverside. In this case, I'm lazy, so I don't want to do the whole thing with equals, blah, 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 blah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy the formula that I had in C7. I'm going to just copy it over to cell D7, right? How I can do that? Put my cursor on the little blue square and drag it over. And you know what? I'm just going to drag it over to cell E7 as well because I'm going to need it there too anyways. So I'll just save myself the time and do it now. Okay, so as you can see, 16 plus 18 plus 22 plus 10 plus 9 equals 75, right? So we're going to continue. 25, 18, 15, 13, 10, 13. Same thing. I'm in my total line for Irvine. I'm lazy and I don't want to do the whole formula. So I'm just going to copy it over and I'm just going to do it for column E now as well too. So that's copied over. Again, you're going to put your cursor on the little blue box. You're going to click, hold, drag to the right, just up to column E. And then one more time for total number of pets line. 193, where the little blue square is, drag over just to the E, let go, and I get here 169. Where's that value coming from? 75 plus 94 equals 169. Cool, right? Okay, so you see how it says 0, 0, and 0. Watch that value change as we start typing in numbers. So here we have incomplete training. Again, I'm going to auto adjust the column, double click. I'm going to do 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. What does that equal? 13. You see, it went from a 0 to a 13. Next line, I have 0. Notice the 0 doesn't change because 0 plus 0 is 0. Now we have 2. Oops, what happened? The 0 changed to 2 because I have a 2. 3, 5, right? Because 2 plus 3 is 5. 2, 2, and one more 2. 11. And notice what else changed. This 0 changed too. Because why? 13 plus 11 equals 24. So whatever value I put in this cell is going to affect this cell. So if I were to change, go back and be like, oops, I should have had a 1 here. Put a 1 there. This value changed and this value changed. Right? See how that was a 23, now it's a 24? Again, put a 1 there, and this 24 is going to change, and this 13 is going to change. It's going to be a 12 and a 23. Ah, cool. All right, let's change that back. All right, so we've completed our spreadsheet. That's all the information we have. But now we want to add our groupings, right? Make this table easier to read for someone that just wants a summary. So how do we do our groupings to create that summary? So I'm going to highlight columns A2 to E6, let go, and I'm going to go to data and group. Now it's asking me, how do I want to group it? Do I want to group it by rows or by columns? I want to group it based on the rows 2 to row 6. All right, voila. So now you see this bar here, which I was showing you at the beginning of class. It's showed up. So what happens if I press on the minus? Oh, everything from rows 2 to row 6 is hiding. If I press the plus, rows 2 to 6 reappear. Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing but for rows 8 to 13. So I can either highlight it from here, but I don't really want to do that because then it's going to highlight everything all the way to who knows where, who knows how many columns. So I just want to do it from A8 to E12, E13. Let go, just this section. I don't need more from here. So I'm going to go to data, group, and again, I want rows. Perfect. Now I have my second group there. And then I want one more group, but this time I want to show you how columns look. So I'm going to choose the grouping to be in column B. We're going to go to insert. So again, what did I do? I just did column B here. So I can do it from here and drag it all the way down, or I could also do it from here to right there where it ends, right? So from B1 to B16, data, group, and column. Okay, so now I have another grouping, but look at this one. This one's at the top, right? So the groupings at the top are for columns. The groupings on the left are for rows. Now, here's where the magic happens. If I get rid of, so I turn on this grouping, what happened? Store will disappear, right? Turn on that grouping. I use this grouping and I use the other grouping I created. What happens? Here's my summary of the results of everything I just typed in. So the results are how many pets are registered for training in the city of Riverside? Total 88. How many in Irvine? 105. How many pets in total? 193. See, big picture. Same thing, completed training and incomplete training. Now, I'm interested and I want to see where the numbers are coming from. So, well, I can just put the plus, and now if I'm a person that didn't create this and I want to see where those values are coming from, then I would just ask to show the groupings, right? And I could see where the values are coming from. All right, class. So one last thing I want you to do, I want you to rename the sheet, and the name of the sheet should be School of Pets Results. So like I said, I already did it, so that's why I'm going to have a double name, but I'll just show you how to rename it. So sheet 4, we're going to click on the little arrow. We want to rename it. Go to rename, and I'm going to go to, so title it School of Pets Results, right? You don't have to put your name because your name should already be at the top. So that's the name I want you to put. And okay, so once you do that, you're good. And now I also want you to reshare this with me or your boss. Remember the fake company email that we're using. I want you to type it in here. puppylovepamp@gmail.com. And I want you to add a note that says online homework number 3 groups. Okay, and then if you want, just so your name is somewhere else, just go ahead and type your name one more time. In my case, I put Jasmine. Yours would be your name. And go ahead and press send. And I will get your assignment and give you your points for it. Thank you.